Before this vid starts, I will just say that you are not obliged to follow these tips. We all have our own mixing styles and these are some tips that help me. I will be using the FLP of my old songs so you can see all the mistakes that I did here. Mix at low volumes. Why though? Well, there are many advantages. Well, actually, there are just two. Well, that I've written. These advantages are you won't need these gain reduction plugins on your master to prevent it from clipping like this. See, this is actually clipping here. The other advantage of mixing at low volumes is that you can send your instruments to the same effects bus so that you can avoid using too many reverb plugins, for example. And that's my mistake here. As you can see, I mixed everything super loud, so I had to use different effects buses because if I connect two instruments to one bus, it will clip. So that was my old mistake. Please, for the love of God, do not automate these things. It's just terrible. Why, you may ask? Let me show you how bad this is. If you want to automate the volume of things, just use a fruity balance to automate the volume. Also, gain staging will be so much easier if you don't automate this because they won't move around later on. They will just stay in the same place, which is exactly what you need for gain staging, right? When using a high pass filter, make sure that your cutoff isn't too steep, like this, because it can create artifacts. I'll show you in span. You see that little dip? It slowly went down here. It just went down slowest. There, and that's an artifact. Then you can prevent that by just making the cutoff not too steep. Like this much, just this much would be good enough. It will definitely reduce the artifact here. See, no more artifact. You can EQ things to make space for other things. Like here in my bass, I EQ'd out these parts here. This is to make room for the super saws, and this is to make room for the snare. It doesn't have too much of a difference, but it sounds cleaner. It becomes less muddy together, I guess. And my last tip is to always use a reference track. I cannot stress how important this step is. With a reference track, you have a goal of what something should sound like because it's already professionally.